We have just finished the ayahuasca ceremony. It was everything that I had hoped that it would be, but not even close to what I expected it to look like. Um, profound experience. It was the conclusion to probably one of the most significant years of my life. Moving into the next space of my existence, I finally have the confidence, the clarity that I've always had, but now it has finally showed its face in the way that it was supposed to. I would suggest this for everybody. And I'm not going to say I would suggest it because you're going to have a good time, but it's because you're going to have the time of your life, depending on where you are in your life, because there's some people who are having a very difficult time and a very challenging experience, but that's because they are living in a difficult space. And at those times, you need the challenge in order to finally get you over the hurdle that's your own existence, you know? For myself, and she can speak for herself, I know I've done a lot of the groundwork going into this, and that didn't start with the dieta. I mean, bananas and rice was the what was the pinnacle of it all. It was the simplifying of the system, a system that I've really have abused over the years because it's been go, 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 go. And that's great for a machine, but there is the need to have the duality of being human, you know, that's to stop and to hear the waves and to be with the sounds and to smell the flowers. And that's currently where I am. And I'm very excited for what I have to do on this journey because I found out my path is to guide, which is a hell of a mission. I mean, I was always wondering why was I granted such an eclectic life. I mean, it never was fully apparent to me until last night that you have to go through the burning sands in order to bring people the dates that they need on the journey of 40 days. And that's where I am. I don't know what she has to say.
I also experienced that life isn't so serious at the end of the day, and I just need to take it a little bit more with ease and don't think about everything too much. Just do it, feel it out of your body, into your heart. Coming back to be a child at the end of the day.
I had the analogy, and I think this is the best way that I could describe it, it is a mother.
Yeah.
You know, and a mother, she comes in, when you say you've been cleaning your room, she goes in and she lifts up the carpet, she flips over the bed, she looks underneath everything. And if it's clean, then she doesn't chastise you. A good mother doesn't chastise you. And if it's not clean, then she tells you that you still have work to do. So the purging process, and I think that's what a lot of people go in with the most fear about, because it just sounds brutal, you know? You have some people that are throwing up. You have some people who are taking shits, and it cleans your soul, it cleans your entire system out. You have some people who are laughing, some people who are crying, and for myself, yawning. And I think it's representation of where you are in your life and ultimately what you need. So if the puke isn't what if you don't need to expel in that way, then it doesn't seem as though you do. For myself, I know there was many times that I would yawn, and very interestingly, even though all of this is happening, you're still very aware of space. Like you're there, even though you're somewhere else. Like there was a point where I was yawning, and I began to just allow for my yawns to belch out. And the woman who was singing, by the way, our people, they could sing like angels. Godly. But I belched out a yawn, and even between her singing, she said, "Hold space," and I knew she was tapped into me. It wasn't like she had to come and tap you on your shoulder. You're just able to energetically connect to people, and you can connect to somebody while they're not necessarily even having a conversation with you. You know, like I told Vanessa that I spoke to her even while she was saying, "Oh, you spoke to me." But my soul had a connection with her soul, even in those moments. The woman next to me, I had a connection with her soul. It was just profound the way that we are, and I've always known this, And I think I began to conceptualize in the idea of the internet being symbolism for our souls, because we are all connected in this weird net of what in Hinduism they call the Atma, which is the cult of existence. We are connected, even though we're just little fragmentations of the greater connectivity of all. It allows for you to see the micro in the macro. Vanessa just said, life is not so serious. Don't make it so serious. But at the same time, life is as serious as you make it. So you get to decide whether or not you want to look at the drop of water or the entire ocean. And both are fine. It just depends on what it is that you want to focus on. More episodes, more depth about the ayahuasca experience. We're maybe less than 30 minutes out from the closing of it all.
Yeah. The sharing was beautiful. Like at the end, everyone was sharing. Like Andre said, like you come as strangers and you leave as a tribe, and I love that. I really felt it. Like it was so beautiful to have everyone together and doing this experience in community, you know, just looking around. Everyone is on their journey, but you still hold space for each other.
The tarot cards. There were tarot cards that he offered for you to go and look at. He suggested 3, which I was able to go 3 times. So I went in the first round of this is when I was still on like the come up, you know. I went and I took a look at the card, and when I pulled it just based off of intuition of which one was right? And I pulled a blessing from the divine being. And I was like, okay, all right, yeah. And so that was a very interesting one to pull, because Mother Ayahuasca, people expect for this to, or for me, I don't know about for everybody else, because I can tell me and her had different experiences, but mushrooms is shifting your reality. That's what I experienced. Like the world can potentially look different. With ayahuasca, for me, it felt like a conversation. It was a genuine conversation between me and Mother. But Mother wasn't in a voice of something external, but something within you that has known you all your existence and can speak truth into what it is that you may feel or what you might believe. And if your intuition isn't strong enough to fully decipher between what's true and what's an illusion, ayahuasca can ultimately give you that grounding sensation. And I believe that you don't need ayahuasca in order to have these profound experiences. But I do believe that in a world that we live in where so much distraction is purposely put on top of us as a way of, clouding our antenna, this can swipe off the dust, allow for the dust to settle so that you can eventually see what it is that you're meant to. My second card was akin to the Red Hawk tribe. So I gotta look up what the Red Hawk tribe is. And I might be coming home, guys. And the last card that I pulled was the precious and the rare. And that's what I was told to leave with. Because as you move into this world, you're brought so many beautiful things. Like these eggs.
Thank you.
You need to embrace them. Guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here and enjoy our meal. But all love to you. You got anything else you want to say? Good show. Thanks for tapping into the 100 Tale podcast. More high-level hikes on the way. We got a glow to us. This is phenomenal. I'll see you guys soon.